so I need more iron to build more of the underground shaft that will protect our base, and that iron will be used to make iron bricks, which will then be used to create iron brick walls. So I'll need more of that. So I'm gonna go and find that, but before I do, I'm gonna go ahead and look in the Crimson and try and smash some of the demon altars. So I'll be doing that. So I'll head right over there to the Crimson. So we're at the Crimson, and we just smashed another altar, and that altar got us Cobalt, the Quada, and Titanium. So we've smashed 3 altars, and that's what we get. Now, when your world says rotten eggs, I think what it means, well, actually, I know what it means, is that your world has generated sulfur, which is used in the catalyzer to swap ores between the multiple tiers. So, in the next video, we'll go over all the ore tiers that are both added in the mod and are present in the base game. Alright, so jumping from the past and into the present, which is now currently the future, and is now... Okay, I got that thing fucked up, but we're from the future me. Future me wants to explain how Blah, the creator of Avalon, has added in the source mod more additions to the existing ore tiers, Hardmode Ores, Hardmode equipment, which is made for these ores. And he added 3 new additions for every 1 tier. Instead of armor, one set of tools. Basically added new ores. So instead of tier 1 having just Cobalt, Palladium, we now have Duratanium. Tier 2, which is Mithril, or now has their Quada, and tier 3, Adamantite Titanium, now has Ferozium. So we have 3 new ores for the existing 6 ores. They all have their own tools, their own weapons, they all have their own armor sets with their own helmets. All have their own tools, their own armor sets, and they even have their own set bonuses. Originally, back in 1.2.4.1, well, not much has really changed for Palladium and Orichalcum, which was always just Orichalcum having increased life regen. Was it increased life regen when they actually struck an enemy? Hit by one of them, just test it. Which one really was? Okay, so it says... greatly increases life regen after striking an enemy. So it's always been... I'll know that Orichalcum summons a shard that, strike enemies. So let's go and test that. Cobalt, Adamantite, and Cobalt, Mithril, and Adamantite both just give you stat increases. They don't actually have their own cool, abilities as soon as you put them on, put a set on. So for example, the set bonus is literally just 20% chance to not consume. Like that's it. That's the set bonus. So yeah, that goes for like Adamantite. Well, they're not using similar bonuses, like similar 20% chance not to consume. But that's what they do. They just increase, the stats you have. Like they give you like bonuses. They don't actually give you cool set bonuses, like the ability to heal after striking an extra damage. Every time you shoot an opponent or attack. So, I guess that's it. One thing that isn't actually unique to Exxo Avalon, and is actually a theme in old school of 1.2.1 Terraria, is, well, titanium armor. Titanium armor doesn't actually summon shards that cause knockback. Striking an enemy. I don't know if it's striking an enemy or just builds. Builds up as soon as you take it. I think that's what it does. It doesn't matter. The point is that the titanium armor is vastly different. Ever heard of Shadow Dodge? Because that's exactly what's going to happen next. After striking someone, well, a buff similar to holy protection is given to the player, allowing you to dodge this after you strike. See that? Similar to holy protection, and it might as well have been the basis for holy protection, because after 1.3, I guess it was changed, but in 1.2.4.1, it's still present. Now let's move on to the additions. Instead of talking about the armor set in the past, let's go with the armor set. First up is the Quad. Defense is increased by 12 while you're affected by a debuff, so anything like, shield. See, there it goes. Okay, so let's see your defense is increased by 12. So our defense is now 36. Well, it now increases to 3. 12 points of extra defense. Now let's move on to the Quad. Nearby enemies receive damage when you are damaged. Kind of like a 7. If you're damaged, everybody takes damage. Just when you're like one enemy that takes damage. See? There you go. That's exactly what it does. And so now that we're out of the way, the last one to cover is cutscene. Anyways, Truxinium. So this is the Truxinium armor set, which is looks like a hazmat suit. It says hit mobs 15 times to trigger X class, weapon or damage class crits for 10 hits. So ranged, magic, melee, depending on the helmet you're wearing. So let's say I wear a melee instead of ranged headpiece, the Truxinium headpiece. We replace that with the Truxinium helmet. Guess what? That leads to melee hits. It triggers melee hits now instead of ranged. So the same can go for the magic helmet. So, okay, I didn't mean to put that there. But, yeah, that's how that works. So
ores will trigger range crits for 10 hits. Consistent range hits for 10 hits. Range crits for 10 hits. Let's say I hit him up 15 times. Fires a shotgun spread of 7 seeds. Also, the mithril split knife says it splits 3 knives, but it actually just splits into 4. So, you can't shoot it. The space is so narrow, so. There you go. Can't see it, but yeah, that's kind of what I noticed. Also, they have their own bricks, by the way. All the other trucks, all the ores have their own bricks. All their own bricks with their own blocks. We need to explain that, but I'm just gonna put it out there. They all have their own bricks. Pretty good. Pretty solid. So now what I want to move on to is, there's something that you might notice that's Avalon is that pretty easy. If you notice, sulfur is a bit green and yellow, as you can see from the texture. And sulfur is a bit just yellow, pretty yellow. And that's pretty much how you tell them apart. Next thing I want to cover is sulfur. What does sulfur do? So, let me head to the surface and I'll show you exactly what sulfur does. With sulfur, you can craft something called the catalyzer. For sulfur, a workbench, wood, and iron bars. And it looks like this sink thing. Weird sink thing. And it is used to convert materials. It's gonna sit there, right? But what it does is it converts materials. So, one thing it can do is it can convert cobalt. Well, it can convert Duratanium into cobalt. It essentially allows you to swap between the Hardmode Ores tiers, swap between the evil biome blocks. You can do all sorts of things. So all you need is sulfur for every single crafting recipe with this thing, since I'm not going to go over them. But that's what I would like to show you. So you can literally craft cobalt ore, you can craft chunk stone and brimstone from your various block counterparts. And all you have to do is have a bit of sulfur. So that's sulfur. That's what sulfur allows you to do with the catalyzer. That's kind of what it is. It has no armor set. It has no tools, nothing. That's all it does. It's just used for conversion. Now, I want to Duratanium. Cobalt, Palladium, and Duratanium. You have... what is it called? You know what? I'll just use the guide browsing menu, and I'll just put the Cobalt Shield Mark II in there. That will solve everything. So here we go. There are three shields. They all do specific things. The Cobalt Shield increases defense when struck. The Palladium Shield regenerates health when struck. And the Duratanium Shield slows the effects of damage over time debuffs. So that's what the shields do. And depending on what shields you want to make from the Omega Shields, with the mechanical boss souls. So if you want to make a Duratanium Omega Shield, you'll need all the tier shields from the tier 1 ores and 5 souls of fright. And what the Duratanium Shield provides is what it does better over everything else is it greatly slows the effects of damage over time debuffs. So here's how you understand this. When you go over the Duratanium Omega Shield, you can see that it says greatly. The reason why it does that is because you know what the Duratanium Shield does? It slows the effects of damage over time debuffs. This does it better. Its ability is increased. So, for every buff that is found, or like buff that is provided from every one of these shields, their Omega Shield type will do that specific buff better. So let's say we have the Palladium Omega Shield, which quickly regenerates life. You know what the Palladium Shield does? It regenerates life when struck. And it's crafted using the Souls of Sight. You have to craft every last shield, which means you'll need the Catalyzer. The Cobalt Omega Shield does this, increases defense when struck, but better. And they all provide this the buffs of all the shields combined. But the one you chose, the Cobalt, whether it's Cobalt or Palladium or Duratanium, whatever ore or like tier it's based off of, it will do this shield. Its debuff better. We'll say greatly increased, quickly regenerates, greatly slows. So Palladium Omega Shield slows the effects of... No, not slow. Quickly regenerates life. It will do whatever the Palladium Shield does better, and it will have all the buffs of all of these shields combined. Again, by the way, Cobalt Omega Shields are also crafted using the Souls of Might. So that's the shields. And that's how you get to understand what those shields do. Now, what about... well, not what about. We can go ahead and move on to one more thing. And it's this ore. It's this ore called Ferozium. And I'll go and talk about that next. Okay, so we're back to Ferozium. Ferozium, when placed, looks like this. That's what it looks like. So, where can you find Ferozium? Well, it's kind of like chlorophyte, and it grows in the snow biome. Kind of like it? I don't know if it grows. It kind of looks like it does, because it's small. It spawns in like small chunks and like in the beginning of Hardmode, but then slowly grows. Slowly grows in size. Where the chunks slowly grow. And what can you do with it? Well, here's what you can do with Ferozium. With the ores themselves, you can go ahead and make Ferozium bricks,
or Ferozium bars. With the bars, you can craft a ranged and melee armor set called the Ferozium set. The Ferozium. You can also craft the Ferozium arrow, the Ferozium bullet, the Ferozium pickaxe, the Ferozium ice sword, the Ferozium war axe, and also the Ferozium ice sword fires. Well, every time you swing it, it shoots tiny little shards that just like hit enemies as well. So you get a bit of a ranged advantage. So it's not really a true melee weapon. And then you got the Solarium staff, which is crafted using Solarium stars and Ferozium bars. So that's what you can do with Ferozium. I'm gonna let you figure out what the armor does. Well, matter of fact, you know what? What if you wanted to know what that is first, before you craft it? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go and craft that armor. All you'll need is... Oh, wait. That's right. All you need is frigid shards and Ferozium bars. I gotta tell you about the frigid shards. They're crafted using frost shards and souls of ice. Now let's move on to the frost shards. Not only are they used to craft with souls of ice, used to craft frigid shards to create Ferozium armor, but they're also used to craft the ice blade with the platinum broadsword, or bismuth, or like gold broadswords, icicles, fallen stars, and frost shards. Not only are frost shards used to craft the ice blade or the icicles, not only are they used to craft, not only are the frost shards used to craft frigid shards, but they're also used to craft the ice blades, the icicles, the ice skates, the blizzard in a bottle, and the terra claws. That's right, these things. Terra claws are crafted using a fire gauntlet, ichor, cursed flames, spider fangs, stingers, frost shards, pathogens, souls of blight. Souls of blight are dropped from the what do you call that one, boss? The wall of steel. They can also be frost shards can be used to craft pre-hardmode accessories, a super hard mode upgrade to the fire gauntlet, frigid shards, which are used to craft the Ferozium gear armor. Maybe used to craft something else too. Let's go and craft it and see what we get. Craft the frigid shards, so I can show you. Okay, so before I craft the frigid shards, I first need to show you what else you can do with the souls of ice. You can craft the freeze bolt and the staff of the tempest frigid. The staff of the tempest frigid is a super hard mode upgrade to the staff of the frost hydra, and it's crafted using hydrolith bars, which are found in the comets. I'll go ahead and go over the comets later. That's a super hard mode thing. What else you can do with the hydrolith bars? Freeze bolts, they're an upgrade to the they're a super hard mode upgrade to the water bolt, and they're crafted using frost cores, ice shell, and a water bolt, along with the souls of ice. So yeah, that's what you can do with the souls of ice. Now it's on to crafting the frigid shards. So, what else can we what else do we need to craft the elemental shards? We need torrent shards, which are crafted from water shards, and water Zerodon bucket. I think, yeah, I went all over that. I just had to do something after leaving. I can fix that with the power of modern editing, though. Demonic shards. They're crafted using, you guessed it, undead shards. It's got it in the name, so all you need is undead shards and rotten flesh. You know, the Minecraft rotten flesh. Then you'll need, finally, you'll need to craft... Okay, yeah, guess what? You need to craft frigid shards. So that's what you need to craft the elemental shards. So, what about the Ferozium armor set? Well, the Ferozium armor set guarantees 7 plus points of defense, increased stats, and melee and range attacks to inflict frostburn. Increased stats. What does that mean? Oh, it increases damage. That's pretty much all you need to know. It probably increases damage. It probably increases critical strike chance. Yep, it does increase critical strike chance. Yeah, so that's all it does. So that's what it does when it says increases stats. It doesn't know which stat, don't know which stats increases. It increases. It just increases stats. That's all you need to know. Plus 7 defense, and all melee and ranged attacks will inflict frostburn. Don't need to test that out because we already know what frostburn is if you play Terraria. It's basically just like fire, but for snow, for the snow biome. Okay then, so what else do we have to cover next? Well, next thing up. So, from what I've been able to cover, or gather, I've found that, well, actually, fuck it, you don't have to gather much. The wall of flesh drops fleshy tendrils, which are used to craft a summoner armor set and a set of summoner weapons. It's also used to craft the Hellbound remote, which summons the wall of steel, which is essentially the boss that, once defeated, will get you into super hard mode. I'll explain how to craft it later when we head into where we're ready to set into super hard mode. But for now, that's just what you need to know. It's crafted using fleshy tendrils and whatever the else is on screen. It's also used to craft a hungry staff and the flesh armor set, which is essentially it's a summoner armor set, so it's used primarily for summoners. I'm not crafting that, by the way, because I don't have enough, and I'm not a summoner, so I'm just here to show you that it exists. You can just go ahead and craft it for yourself. Hungry staff, once again, just go craft it for yourself. I'm not crafting that shit. I gotta save this shit for the Hellbound remote, so yeah, we're just letting you know it exists. And this is what you need to craft. They're all craft just using fleshy tendrils, so you're gonna need a lot of them. Okay, so what do you need to craft? Well, not what do you need to craft. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna go over is changes in the emblems. So originally, when you beat the Wall of Flesh would drop an emblem. It would be randomized between 3 choices in 1.2.4.1, since they were only really just 3 main damage classes. So, in this mod, that has changed. There's something called an empty emblem, which, when brought to a tinker's workbench, would be used to craft whatever emblem you wanted. You wouldn't need to grind the Wall of Flesh for emblems. So you could craft a ranger emblem and a warrior emblem. And a sorcerer emblem from an empty emblem. Next thing I'm going to go over is the new wings. Well, what's that mod called? Exxo Avalon doesn't actually add any new wings. It does add one thing called the Gravity Glow from 1.3, and that's it. It's crafted using advanced gravitation potions, souls of flight, and hallowed bars. Advanced gravitation potions, if you can already guess, would most likely be crafted from either something and a gravitation potion. So you can just throw that in the guide and it'll show you how. Matter of fact, I'll do it for you. No. It's not actually crafted using the gravitation potion. So how the hell do you craft an advanced gravitation potion? Well, I'm gonna figure out how, and then I'm gonna tell you how. Look, I can't seem to figure out how to craft a, advanced gravitation potion. I'll probably make tutorials about all this shit, maybe post it on the old school Exxo Avalon wiki. Other than that, that's pretty much what you need to craft it. It's like, good luck trying to figure that out. Because I really can't be bothered. It requires hallowed bars, souls of flight, and advanced gravitation potions. What I was really supposed to go over, though, is the wings. Now, it doesn't really add new wings. No, it doesn't. Unless you take... Wait. As it turns out, some of the wings are materials. Well, no, all wings are materials. Wings specifically that I've been able to find that could be crafted into something that's actually really good is the demon wings. The demon wings can be crafted into these crimson wings, but there's also corrupt and contagion variants, and they're all crafted using their respective variants of, well, for the crimson it would be vertebrae and ichor. For the corruption it would be rotten chunks and cursed flames, and for the contagion it would be yucky bits and pathogens. As for all the other wings, wings are mainly, well, all I know is that wings are crafted using spark frost boots to craft the inertia boots. And so that goes for wings. Now the next thing I have to go and talk about is Shroomite. And how that would work out. There's a new Shroomite ore underground. If we just go ahead and Alright, so we're gonna go over the Shroomite bars. Or not the Shroomite bars, but the new Shroomite. God damn, my mic sucks. Okay, so we're going to go over the Shroomite ore underground that you can find. It's in the underground mushroom biome. And it generates as soon as you enter hard mode. And you won't have to craft, you know, the process of crafting glorified bars and gathering glowing mushrooms. You can already just mine it off the mushroom biome. So yeah, that's the Shroomite ore now. It's very easy to get Shroomite. Alright, so next thing we're going to be going over is the Souls of Time, which are dropped from mimics in the Hollow biome. We have literal swords made from fucking fire. We had the fiery greatsword, which is now called Volcano. We had all these things. Okay, so after recording, I made a huge mistake. They're not dropped from mimics in the Hollow biome. They're actually dropped from mimes. Yes, mimes. And mimes were added into Exxo Avalon. They were not a part of Terraria, so... yeah, it was not mimics, it was mimes. They're dropped. Souls of Time are dropped from mimes. So, let's see what you can do with Souls of Time. And guess what you do with Souls of Time? It's fucking Time Changers. It's used to craft the Time Changer Mark 1. No, not Mark 1, Mark 2. Which is crafted using 40 Souls of Time, 1 Soul of Blight, and a Time Changer. Time Changers are used to craft or not used to craft. Time changers are crafted using Souls of Light. Let me see if it's just Souls of Light, though. So Souls of Light might be it. If I remember correctly, it's Souls of Light. Yeah, Souls of Light are crafted from 15 Souls of Light, 15 Souls of Night, a gold watch, bismuth, or platinum watch, and any gold bars, or any gold, platinum, or bismuth bars. And so, yeah, that's how they're crafted. That's how you craft the Time Changer. Time Changers are used to craft a Time Changer Mark II, using Souls of Time and 1 Soul of Light. So that's what Souls of Time do. Next thing we're going to be going over is the Living Light blocks. No, I'm sorry, the Living Lightning blocks. So lightning blocks are dropped from, what do you call these things? Angry Nimbus clouds. They're dropped from Angry Nimbus clouds, and they're essentially just like a block of lightning. So now you can build lightning now. And that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's where lightning blocks come from. Okay, so here's how you get the Ice Bow. The Ice Bow is a 31.67% chance, or, you know, approximately 30% chance to be dropped by ice mimics in the ice biome. That's how you can get the Ice Bow. The Marrow has a 0.5% chance to be dropped by the Skeleton Archer. The Shotgun, well, that's it for the Shotgun. You can't craft the Onyx Blaster with the Shotgun. So really, the only thing you have for a Shotgun is the Shotgun. So this is back in the day when the Shotgun was the shit, and there was no Onyx Blaster at all. So yeah, you got the Shotgun. You can buy that from the arms dealer. Everyone knows the Clockwork Assault Rifle that's dropped from the Wall of Flesh. And you got your Orachithral Blowpipes. And that's essentially it. The mod does not add anything that is for the Ranger and is in hard mode before you fight the Wall of Flesh. Not the Wall of Flesh, but like the mechs. So you can't, there's not much the mod adds for Rangers before the mechs. So that's pretty much it. Now the next thing we have to move on is the Hell Shrine. Okay, so here we are. This is the Hell Shrines, or at least one of them. Here is just one of them. Okay, so let's go ahead and start on what we found from here. We found Hellstone Darts, Sunlight Kunais, Hellstone, and a Bag of Fire, as well as a Crimson Potion. That's what we found in here. Hellstone Darts are used for the blowpipes, and the Sunlight Kunais are just throwing knives. That's what you could. That's one of the few things you can find in a Hellstone Shrine. Okay, so I want to tell you two things before we head to the pirate invasion cheese, and it's one on how to craft a restoration band, which is crafted using a stamina crystal, life crystal, mana crystal, and 2 shackles. Your maximum stamina is 300, which is indicated by these purple lightning bolts. There's also one thing that, well, is available for Rangers that I managed to find in the sky biome with the wyverns and harpies, and it fires random projectiles. And so, I guess we can move on with the pirate invasion cheese.